Without a doubt, it's been raining hard here. All of the needles from these spruce trees has been like washed away, and there's a huge mound of them over here. It takes inches of rain per hour to do something like this. That's pretty impressive. My friends, welcome to this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is a military surplus overnight adventure, and for this trip I have some cool gear. To start off here, we have the latest generation of Molle backpack, which happens to look just like the Molle 2 and also the FILBE, but this is the latest edition. This is what is currently in use. In addition to the backpack, we have the filled tarp, and this is an ACU camo. My plan is to set up camp real quick and just get this out of the way. I don't know if it's going to rain today or not. The chance is rather low, but for the last maybe 20-30 minutes, we've been up in the clouds, very thick fog. It may be dissipating now, but then again, you never know. This is a product that I haven't used in a long time, so I don't have any guy lines attached to it, so I will have to attach those. I love this tarp. In fact, I love military surplus. There's one thing that I don't like about military surplus gear, and that's weight. This stuff is so heavy. It's not made for civilian use, and because of that, I don't carry this stuff very far. I keep these trips nice and short as far as distance goes. As I go about preparing this tarp, I'll tell you all what I'm doing here. So I have 6 guy lines. That's what I like to have on my tarps. Each guy line is around 10 feet long. At one of the ends on each guy line, I'm tying a slip knot, and I'm going to attach that slip knot to the tarp. One in each corner and one guy line amongst the center seam of the tarp, one on each side. Setting your tarp up like this is extremely fast, and you could take the guy lines off if you need to place them in different locations. Out in the real world, that's important. For an example, this forest setup here, it's not going to be perfect, so I will have to come up with different ways to set this up, and being able to move those guy lines is important. I have brought with me 2 tarps just in case I need them. And right now I can go ahead, I could set up one or I could set up both. But the question is, what formation do I want to do here? talk about perfect timing, folks. It just began to rain. So I have the tarp system set up. Basically, I've taken 2 filled tarps, one ACU camo, one Marpat. I put a shield on the back, roof over the top, and I think this is going to be good enough for this adventure. I love when things work out like that, right? I mean, the moment I put the pole in, it starts raining. That's funny. I sure wish that's how it worked out every single time, but that's not the case. This time, I just got lucky. At the moment, I'm not going to look at the radar. I'm not hearing any thunder, so whatever's coming in, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a threat right now. I'm going to continue to focus on setting up my camp here, which I'm pretty much done. This is a very simple camp out. This is a cowboy camp underneath a tarp, or I should say tarps, I guess. With that being said, though, there's a few things that I want to work on, including processing this firewood. As far as setting up camp goes, that's pretty much it for now. I'm not going to set up my bedding, nothing like that. I'll wait until basically it's time to go to sleep, just in case a storm comes in, it blows rain all over the place. It's best to wait. Speaking of wind, all of a sudden it has gotten rather windy. Outside of the forest here, sustained winds around 25 miles an hour. Inside of the forest, I'm pretty well protected, but you can definitely see how it's influencing the forest around us. If you're going to use something hard like a rock to baton on, make sure to be careful with your blade. You don't want to whack your blade so hard that it goes into the rock and deforms your cutting edge. So control the power. Man, this stuff is wet. That's why I'm having to split it. It is all soaking wet. This is what I'm after, this dry inner core. On the outside, everything here is just soaking wet. Like all of the limbs hanging off of this, look at how easy that bends and it doesn't break. It's saturated with water. This, my friends, is a military surplus fire starter. This is called Trioxane. This stuff is pretty nasty, but it works really, really well. This is what it looks like. Watch how easy it is to ignite. Just like that, it lights up. Without a doubt, Trioxane is an interesting product, and while we're drinking some coffee, I will tell you all about it. Cheers, everyone. In a nutshell, Trioxane is a compressed fuel. Basically, it comes in these tabs. It doesn't release much light, it burns blue, and at the same time, it puts out a good amount of heat. The US military used this for a long time, but that's no longer the case. I first heard about this product, I don't know, 5 to 10 years ago, something like that. A friend of mine, he was in the military, and he said that he would light these inside of tanks, and he would make coffee that way, and it wouldn't set off any sort of sensors or alarms or anything like that. The thing is, he didn't know that this is like toxic as hell. Burning one of these releases a lot of formaldehyde. While he was making a cup of coffee, he was poisoning himself and everybody else inside of that tank. Stories like that are pretty common. The only thing that it says on here is protect from the wind and use with adequate ventilation. Sometime back on eBay, I came across a lot of these. Basically, it was a huge collection. That's what a lot is, just in case you don't know. So it was 144 boxes. Each box had 3 bars in it. And I paid like 20 bucks, 30 bucks, something like that. It was an incredible deal. It was so good that I ended up purchasing 2 lots. So I ended up getting 288 boxes in total. And I have enough of this stuff to last the rest of my life. I do like it. It is a good fire starter. It works well for heating up rations, making coffee, starting fires, so on and so forth. It really does work well. The thing is, it is toxic. When it comes to military surplus, the prices of this goes up and down so quickly. All of these components I purchased at a really inexpensive price. But over time, things have gotten more expensive, things are more pricey. To find one of these field tarps in good condition can cost quite a bit of money. I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and let's talk about this tarp setup for a second. Let me share with you all what I've done here. You all can see that I have this tarp as a shield and the Marpat as the roof. So this is offering protection with the roof portion laying over the top of it. So all of the rainwater, if it does rain, is going to fall down and go down this tarp. This is more for livability than protection, but later on tonight, if it's raining, storming, if wind is blowing the rain and whatnot, I can lower this down. It really does depend on what happens with the weather. As it stands right now, things are looking pretty good. A minute ago, the sun was out, now it's dark again, but the clouds have departed, which is okay, because like with the clouds, it was really, really damp. Luckily, it's not all that cold, and at the same time, luckily it's not all that hot. Right now, it's about 65 degrees Fahrenheit, and it really does feel incredible. I feel very lucky to have a place like this to go camping when so much of the country, of the world, is like on fire right now. It's so hot. I was talking to my buddy Dana the other day, and I was like, man, what's it like over there? How are the conditions? He said it wasn't bad. It was around 90 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And all I could think to myself was like, oh my God, I don't think I could take it. I really do like for temps to be in the 60s and 70s. I love it. I really do. Even with a dry heat, I don't know how people can handle it. I guess you get accustomed to anything. But I just think back to when I lived in Florida. Ah, man, I just do not want to do that again. Ever. Not at all. It's because the conditions are so nice that I decided to camp on the ground tonight to cowboy camp. I do have a tent inside of my backpack, but the weather's just too nice, folks. I'm going to enjoy this while I can. And luckily up here at this elevation, we really don't have any bugs. There's no mosquitoes. Ticks are extremely rare up here, and I'm not entirely sure why that is. There is a sizable deer population up here, black bear as well, but yet I've never gotten a tick from this forest here. That's incredible. I've never seen a tick up here. That's why I'm camping on the ground tonight. That's why I'm going to cowboy camp. Hopefully the sky will clear up. We'll get to see some stars tonight. That'd be sweet. That's a red squirrel. There's tons and tons of them up here, and basically they just circle me all day long. You'll hear them making that noise throughout the entire video. It's pretty funny. Let's take a look here, everyone, at what I brought with me for dinner tonight. So what we have here is menu number 24, MRE, United States Military. This is the Southwest style beef and black beans. Oh man. Hey, at least it's still in date. It's good for another year, so. Alright, let's open it up. Let's see what's inside. We have the Southwest beef and black beans. That sounds dangerous. An information card. Isn't that kind of interesting that they put these in with the MREs? You would almost think like, who cares? Soldier, eat what we give you, that sort of thing. We have spiced apples, that'll be good. We have chewing gum, salt, a hand wipe, paper towel, some coffee, maybe some pepper. We have applesauce pound cake, that's breakfast tomorrow. Cheese spread, tortillas, mocha cappuccino instant powder. The general rule of thumb is to never drink this. That'll put you on the toilet faster than just about anything. We have a beef stick. I'll eat that now. Spoon and heater. And that's that. We have the beef stick here, and this is the teriyaki beef stick. It's a beef stick. Not too chewy. Overall flavor, not bad. Not bad for an MRE. I have a story for you all tonight. Just wait until dinner time. This story is so ridiculous. The story involves something that Susie and I have been dealing with since early spring, and just now did we get it resolved. It's ridiculous. It took an attorney general to get it all straightened out. Let's see how it is. I don't think I've had this one before. To be honest, I'm still haunted by that Canadian MRE that we had a few months back. I heated up the cheese as well, like that's going to make it any better. It couldn't hurt though, you know what I mean? Alright, here we go. It's ready. It looks questionable. Wish me luck. Actually, it's not bad. It kind of tastes like a really cheap street taco or something. That's actually not bad, folks. It's not bad at all. Before I eat the second taco and finish this up, I'm going to tell you all my crazy story of the week. Going back to the beginning of the year, Susie and I received some letters from Washington, D.C. There were a couple of toll fines and a couple of parking violations. Along with this information, it shows some sort of like Nissan car, it shows the tag, and the information states that this vehicle belongs to me, and that tag is mine. Obviously, the car's not mine. The tag does not belong to me. I've never lived in Washington, D.C., and I've never even been there. It's obvious to me that there's some sort of mistake here, right? There's a glitch in the matrix, and I should be able to take care of it, or at least that's what I was thinking. So I dispute the toll charges, and I was able to get them dropped. I proved by showing them DMV records, insurance papers, that I did not own a Nissan. I've never lived in DC, any of that stuff. At the same time, I was disputing those charges, which everything went very smoothly. I disputed the parking violations in DC. I sent them all of the paperwork along with confirmation from the DC DMV, and my dispute was denied. Well, what do you mean it was denied? I have all of this evidence proving that it wasn't me. I do some searching where I find a number that you can dispute these charges. So I call them. The person was exceptionally rude, did not listen to a single thing I said, wanted to argue, and eventually she just hung up on me. I'm left with nothing to do but resubmit all of my information online, which I did. A few months later, I receive a notice stating that everything has been turned over to a collection agency. So I call the collection agency. I provide them with the same information, and obviously it's not me. So he's like, okay, I'm going to return back to this company, dispute the charges for you, and let's see how it goes. A few weeks later, I receive a letter saying that my dispute has been denied. I have to pay the charges. There's absolutely nothing I can do but pay those charges. Am I going to pay them? Hell no. That's when Susie had the bright idea to contact the district attorney in DC to help us with this matter. And luckily, folks, they called us back immediately. The guy was rather irritated, not at us, but at them. Basically, we told them that, like, hey, this seems like an absolute scam. We've never been there, never lived there. We have all of this evidence proving that fact. But yet, they want this money and they're not going to do anything but take it. And the thing is, I'm not going to pay it. I will spend every dime I have on principal alone. I'm not going to pay it, right? He says he's going to look into the matter. A few days later, the case is dropped. Boom. Just like that. It was without a doubt a very strange situation, and it was incredibly frustrating. I mean, just complete nonsense. And it did feel like a scam. Anyways, folks, that is my tale of wonder for this week. What a mess. Even with the burning sap, this is slow going. All of this stuff is so wet. You might be able to see that dark black smoke. That is that fat wood burning. Everyone, the forest is looking mighty bizarre at the moment. It's a weird reddish pink color. Very, very ominous. Well, everyone, let's see here. It's about 11 o'clock. I've decided to turn in. I've been in here for, well, I don't know, 30 minutes or so, just listening to the wind. I mean, it's roaring out there. You might be able to hear it. It is dripping just a little bit of rain, but it's super, super light. I went ahead and I changed the configuration of the tarp here more for like a storm mode. So I'm fully protected, and if it gets really bad, I can lower down the sides to make it even better. But for now, I think I'm in good shape. My plan is just to go to bed, get up really early. I'm not entirely sure what time I will get up, but it will be early. So everyone, sleep good. I'll see you all in the morning. Good night for now. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is 5 o'clock in the morning. As for last night, I slept really good. It's raining out there. It's not too heavy, but it's basically just been raining like all night long. So I've been laying here, sleeping good, like all of the fresh air just coming in. It's been nice. Last night I used a modified whoopee blanket. This is interesting. It has a sleeping pad sleeve in it. It has a pocket for a pillow. Unfortunately, it seems a little bit small to me. I had a hard time getting like basically wrapped up in it all night long. So maybe the pad that I had with me is just a little bit too wide. It's something I'll have to test out. The thing is, it fit perfectly inside of the sleeping pad compartment. And something else, this is not zippered, and I really do like that feature on a poncho liner. There's just a lot of drafts. It was pretty cold, actually, most of the night. So I definitely have more testing to do with this product. It's well made, though, and it's from a company called Light Sleeper, I believe. What I need to do now is to transition this tarp shelter into something that I can actually sit underneath. Right now it's just a little bit too low. It's set up for protection. Because it's raining, you all get to stay here. I'll bring you all back when it's done. But yeah, I need to raise this up. As you all can see, there's quite a bit of moisture in the air this morning. A lot of this is fog. Some of it is the moisture hitting the top of the trees and kind of just showering down. Luckily, I have my blueberry on. This is a US Navy camo pattern that has been discontinued. I really like it. I think it looks slick. And I tell you what, this is a pretty nice Gore-tex jacket. I just realized that I have some Taster's Nasty Hazelnut Coffee Instant. This stuff is awesome. It is incredibly flavorful, and you can add this to other coffees, and it really does take it up a notch. I would suggest trying this. If you like coffee, try this, mix it in with your other stuff. It adds a pretty good flavor to it. Does Taster's Nasty sponsor the channel? Do they? Do they appreciate being called Taster's Nasty? I doubt it. This is my favorite time in the morning. I love listening to the birds wake up, they begin singing. It's awesome. Coffee's ready. Cheers, everyone. Oh man, that is freaking fantastic. That hazelnut coffee really does make a huge difference. I'm surprised at how cool it is. I mean, it's got to be about like 55 degrees. I have a sweater on, I have a Gore-tex on, and I'm just perfectly comfortable. It's amazing. We're going into like the end of July. We have August, and then September, and then October. We get snow in October sometimes. How about that? The seasons are changing fast, aren't they? All of the days going by quickly. I do have that, what was it? Apple cake or something or other, part of that MRE. Do I really want that at like 6 o'clock in the morning? I don't think I do. It's a little bit early to eat that. It's such a delicious treat. I think I'll save it for later. You know what I mean? As for sleeping on the ground last night, I feel pretty good actually. Yeah, not too bad. It's been a while since I've done a cowboy camp. This has been a good one. I tell you everybody, I really do like military surplus. I think this stuff is really, really cool. With the channel here, one thing that I've done over the years is help soldiers transition from military life over to civilian life, namely in regards to camping. Every single week we're helping people out transition from like that military mindset more to like a civilian one. Because the truth is, military training and being in the outdoors is like two different things. Oftentimes, you have these soldiers who are going out of the military, they want to do some camping, get into the outdoors, it's good for the mind, good for the heart, and they have no idea how to set up a tarp. They have no idea how to get a fire going when everything is soaking wet. So it's one of those things where like, I'm happy to help out. It's about 6:30 now. I think it's a good time to wrap this up and to say goodbye, folks. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the thumbs up. I do appreciate it. Everyone, take care, be well, strength and honor. Thank you so much for joining me on these adventures. I do appreciate it. Until next time, everyone, bye for now. Good morning. These squirrels are so funny. At times, it seems like they're telling me to get out of here, you know what I mean? Or they're laughing at me, one or the other. Bye, folks.